Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone watching live from all across the globe as we come together for the Open Group India Awards 2022 for innovation and excellence in the use of open standards and open source. Namaste from India. I'm Deepti Nair, Manager for Membership and Market Development, the Open Group, and I'm your host for today's ceremony. In the next 2 hours, we'll witness some very interesting keynote addresses. Some of the best project teams take stage to receive their awards and also get deeper insights into some handpicked projects. Our pioneering path to celebrate and reward excellence in the use of open standards and open source commenced in the year 2017. We had organizations submit their nominations from 10 different countries back then, which rose to 14 countries in the subsequent years. This year, in the fourth edition of the Open Group India Awards, we received nominations from countries in Africa, Middle East, Southeast Asian regions, and India and Bangladesh from varied sectors such as the oil and gas, banking, consumer products, utilities, and the IT services. The previous edition of awards focused on enterprise architecture projects. However, this year, 3 additional categories have been added. So in addition to EA, we also have IT management and planning, cybersecurity, supply chain security, a trusted provider, and digital transformation open source software data platform. Over the past 2 months, more than 20 organizations submitted their nominations and came forward to showcase their path-breaking projects. They shared detailed insights into the enormous work that has gone into some mammoth projects. And when I say mammoth, I mean projects from like the oil industry, the Indian Railways, document digitization projects, some projects that started and also culminated in the peak of the pandemic. So the sheer size and vastness in its reach of some, and also some smaller projects, yet impactful and citizen-centric ones, have made this edition of awards truly a special one. Each and every project are a testimonial of the open standards developed by the Open Group and our member organizations. Furthermore, of how adoption of these have validated and proved beneficial in various technology ecosystems. Let me tell you about the evaluation process. A selection panel of 18 expert executives, thought leaders, and technology pioneers representing a wide spectrum of industries from 5 different continents in 7 different time zones worked in tandem to review each project in depth. There were 2 rounds of reviews, including a detailed presentation round, where the jury got to ask specific questions to ascertain why the project deserved the award. Projects were judged on 5 parameters: innovation and impact, use of open standards and open source, outcomes and benefits to the larger community, sustenance, and institutionalization. Furthermore, prominence was given to 4 Ds of digital transformation strategy pillar: digital innovation, delivery reliability, data-driven, and dynamic workforce, keeping customer centricity at the center. So here we are finally to celebrate the outstanding work done and our incredible participants. I know we were all looking forward to our Honorable Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar to address us today. However, due to the ongoing Parliament session, he's unable to make it to the event. But with no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I now call upon our CEO, Mr. Steve Nunn, who's joined us live from Washington, D.C. to kindly address our audience. Over to you, Steve.
Thank you very much, Deepti. And ladies and gentlemen, honoured guests, it's a great pleasure to add my welcome to the Open Group India Awards for Innovation and Excellence for 2022. And I'd like to give a special welcome to the Open Group Governing Board, who are taking time out of their meeting today in Washington, D.C. to attend the awards this morning. So welcome all of those members of our board. Um, as Deepti said, this is the fourth running of what were intended to be annual awards. Unfortunately, for obvious reasons, we haven't been able to hold the awards for the last 2 years, but we're delighted to be back, and we're delighted to be back with such a great set of nominations, winners, and special mentions this year. Deepti, it described the process that was gone through in assessing the nominations and choosing the winners, and a selection panel of expert executives, 18 of them, in fact, executives, thought leaders, technology pioneers, representing a wide spectrum of industries from 5 different continents were involved virtually, working on this virtually, of course, in the times that we've been working in a 2-month-long evaluation process to determine the winners. The awards, as you'll hear, are classified into awards of distinction in digital innovation, an award of merit in digital innovation, and collectively they represent outstanding examples of the adoption of the Open Group TOGAF standard, the Archimate modeling language, the IT for IT reference architecture, our Open Trusted Technology Provider standard, and the OSDU data platform. The honours are bestowed on projects that have accomplished excellence to set a benchmark in innovation and impact the use of open standards and open source for outcomes and benefits to the larger community, and have sustained and institutionalized the change. I'd like to call out just a few points about the significance of these awards. They demonstrate the considerable benefits that both governments and commercial organizations are able to obtain by adopting open standards, particularly as part of their transformation journeys, their digital transformation journeys in particular. This year, as I said, we've had nominations for 4 categories based on different standards of the Open Group, and in the coming years we plan to expand it even further. These awards are a demonstration of the very active involvement of members of the Open Group in the region, not just in the creation of these standards, but also in influencing their adoption. We have widespread adoption of these standards in both member and non-member communities, and there's a really considerable potential for growth of the standards in the regions and growth of the participating members in the regions, and it's great to see. Our efforts and those of our members in the region building future-ready standards will help the open source and open standards community and be advantageous for multiple nations and their citizens. And it's this last point that I would close my address on. For me, really, this is the key. These organizations have used standards of the Open Group to real, meaningful, valuable effect. And as the CEO of the Open Group, that makes me enormously proud. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first keynote speaker today. It's a great pleasure to introduce Dr. Rohini Srivastava, who is National Technology Officer for Microsoft India. Microsoft is a gold member of the Open Group. In her role, she is responsible for driving innovation and growth through tech intensity across industry and government. Rohini began her career in research and development at AT&T Bell Labs and has 25 plus years of technical and business, 25 plus business and technical publications in ACM and IEEE and other journals. She engaged with CXOs across emerging markets during her strategy consulting career at the Boston Consulting Group and IBM Global Business Services. As CTO of Jalalakshmi Financial Services, now Jana Small Finance Bank, Rohini was responsible for driving tech-driven business transformation towards financial inclusion among the urban underserved. Rohini holds an MBA from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, and she earned her PhD in computer engineering from the University of Texas at Austin. She serves as adjunct faculty at the Indian School of Business Executive Education. A warm welcome from the Open Group, please, to Dr. Rohini Srivastava.
Thanks for having me here, and a very warm welcome. I'll take a few minutes to share ideas around three thematics, and obviously very briefly across them. The first one is clearly that we've been seeing for over the pandemic years on the digital acceleration around the world. And just a couple of days back, Satya was calling it a digital imperative because technology is the only deflationary force in an inflationary ecosystem and economy. So I think the idea of technology being central to every economy, every industry is a no-brainer. But I think the importance that I'd like to make on that idea is that it's now becoming very democratized. It's not just the IT folks who write code. It's a lot of people who are in different functions, who may not have any tech background, especially with the technologies like the low code, no code kind of developments, who are writing code. In fact, it's projected that they will be writing many more times lines of code than developers would be. So in many ways, the idea of going with open source, open data, and open standards is absolutely the only way out if we are going to solve some of the biggest challenges around in the world. Uh, uh, Hunger and climate change and all the challenges that we are facing today, you cannot solve them unless there are people who are writing code with open standards. So that's the first idea. The second one I would put out there is that, as you mentioned, Steve, that Microsoft is a part of the open group, and the two particular areas that I do follow fairly closely is both on open source as well as open data. Clearly, the open source program within Microsoft has been going on for many years. One of the largest contributors to open source community inside within GitHub. Today, it's not uncommon that we use over 150,000 open source components each month while building our products and services. So it's a fairly advanced, fairly mature program. The open data one is a big one that I know that the open group is very active in. And that is another big push that began in 2020 with a campaign that laid out a set of principles for data collaboration, set out a set of partnerships that we would aim for, and put forth a set of tools and capabilities that would make data sharing easier. And I'm sure you're aware that areas of around sustainability, around enterprise architecture, on security, particularly the zero trust framework, and OSTU is places where, as an organization, we are fairly active. The last idea I would put is about India. Uh, India is emerging as a very vibrant tech ecosystem. You may be aware that from a number of developers perspective, it is the second largest number of developers in the world, and in fact is projected to be the largest software developer population by 2024. Uh, a very vibrant startup ecosystem that has been growing very rapidly in the last few years. And today we have north of 70,000 startups in the country, more than 100 unicorns. And that's vibrant startup ecosystem clearly is a strong user, collaborator, and an open source ecosystem. Among the startups, there are 2,000 plus startups that are deep tech in nature, which means they are using technologies like AI, big data, AR, VR, 3D printing, etc. And the last idea on this emerging tech ecosystem is the whole India stack that has become the moniker for a set of open APIs and digital public goods. That is unleashing uh, innovation at a scale that is unprecedented. For a population of more than a billion people, 1.4 billion people, the kind of work that's happening in the country based on the India Stack set of APIs is tremendous. The reason I put that is to say that it's great to see these awards and it is great to see the work that's going on. It would be wonderful and very much it would behoove for India to be active and take a leadership role in defining standards, in defining the path forward as we move forward. So I'll close with that. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much, Dr. Srivastava. That's great words. And to echo or to build upon your point about Microsoft's engagement, we have held a conference here this week in Washington, D.C. around the topics of zero trust security and supply chain security primarily. And at least two speakers that we've had here have been from your organization and gave some great thoughts for our audience. So thank you for your continued participation.
Thank you.
So next, I have the pleasure of introducing our second speaker. This is Kalyan Kumar, who wears two hats at HCL. He is the Chief Technology Officer and Head of Ecosystems at HCL Technologies and Chief Product Officer for HCL Software Products and Platforms line of business. HCL is a platinum member of the Open Group and has been very active since they joined a few years ago now. As the CTO, KK, as he's known, heads HCL's technology strategy, building strategic partner ecosystems, startup and exploration incubation, open innovation, open source, and next generation technology blueprinting. As head of ecosystems, KK oversees the HCL cloud offering as well as technology original equipment manufacturers ecosystem units. KK drives the startup and industry forums and open source ecosystems engagement for HCL. As Chief Product Officer for HCL Software, KK leads product strategy, product specialists and technical advisors, professional services, product management, engineering and operations for the business. KK is a member of the Wall Street Journal CIO Network and the CNBC Technology Executive Council. He's also a fellow of the British Computer Society and the World Economic Forum Global Future Council 2020 and 2021 for quantum computing. KK was also named in the top 100 technology leaders of 2021 in Technology magazine. KK lives in Royal Tunbridge Wells in England with his wife and son, and in his free time, it's hard to see he has any with all those responsibilities, but in his free time, he loves watching and playing cricket, reading and playing music. So a warm welcome from the Open Group to Kalyan Kumar of HCL.
Hello everyone, this is Kalyan Kumar, KK. It's a real honor for me to give my perspective on this amazing Open Group India Awards for Innovation and Excellence. Open Group has been the pillar of driving interoperability, boundaryless information flow, and ensuring diverse entities come together for acceptable adoption of consumer and supplier across common standards. And Open Group is doing great noble work through its vision and the mission. And also in this current hyper-connected, hyper-digital, hyper-cloudified world, it's becoming very, very important to have a common understanding of how we could really build large enterprise systems and drive some common standards. HCL has been fortunate enough to be involved with Open Group as a platinum member, and we've got active involvement with the board of Open Group. We contribute into the different work streams. We learn, promote, and adopt the philosophy and the products of Open Group. Especially, we've been very actively involved in the IT for IT work stream. And we've not only taken the IT for IT and started influencing and working with our customers to start seeing the value of what IT for IT delivers, but we're also taking some of the value streams of IT for IT and making sure some of the software products in HCL software across value stream management, across our service management and SaaS and different areas, we are making sure that we are imbibing the philosophy for IT for IT. Driving adoption of open standards is extremely important. As member and promoters, we take the common theme of Open Group and make sure that we are driving this across our customers, our communities, and the governments and the different subsystems which are getting involved. And it's extremely important that this becomes a common minimum baseline for everyone to adopt and make sure that we are building systems which allows this whole philosophy of boundaryless information flow. The India Awards for Innovation and Excellence 2022, it's a great initiative. It's bringing the innovation community together, driving adoption of open standards. I see this initiative growing tremendously over the last few years, and I hope this is going to continue to expand and grow. India is in a unique position. There is a big, large India market. It's across government, large enterprises, financial services, tech-enabled businesses, which are just exploding in the country. So hence the need for innovation and creating those excellence ecosystems is extremely important, and also adoption of open standards and open interoperability across various subsystems. Also, India has a prominent role to play in the global stage in terms of becoming the center of delivering technology, engineering, and software, and infrastructure, and application, and business services to companies across the world. So, in this context, it becomes extremely important that what we do not only enables what we are trying to drive within the country, but also it's going to really influence how we are able to take those best practices and apply it and make this get embedded across the stack in different corners of the globe. This award is extremely great, and I really wish all the finalists and the winners of the award a really great year. The awards, I think, needs to expand and continue to expand in terms of scope, participation, and coverage. We really see this initiative to become more important in the coming future. I wish you all the very best. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to all of you.
Good day to all of you. My name is Pallab. I'm the General Manager for India, and I have the very happy task of announcing the award winners. Previously, between Steve and Deepti, they have already briefly explained you the process that we went through. I just want to summarize the process before we actually announce the award winners. So we received the nomination through a series of nomination forms from the different organizations that you will hear about in a bit. These nominations were first shortlisted based on our jury members, which were represented from different countries. And then the shortlisted nominations were in for a face-to-face interview with our jury members, presenting their projects, and the jury members clarifying their questions and any other information that they might have. So this whole process was almost a two-month long process. And what we have done here is we have classified the awards into two categories, two groups, if you will. One is Award of Distinction in Digital Innovation, and the second is Award of Merit in Digital Innovation. So we have 5 winners in the Award of Distinction category and 3 in the Award of Merit category. Now, collectively, these projects cover different standards of the Open Group, ranging all the way from TOGAF, which is the Enterprise Architecture Standard, Archimate, which is the modeling language, IT for IT reference architecture, and the OSDU platform. What we have between the jury members have ensured is that not only the award winners represent innovation and excellence in the work they have done, but what we have also wanted, what the jury members also wanted, is whether these organizations and whether these teams have been able to sustain and institutionalize the change. And this is very important because transformational projects are fundamentally very risky. So while there may be a lot of technology innovation, we have had a lot of instances in the past where the actual change or the transformation does not sustain. So therefore, the sustainability and the institutionalization of the change that the technology and the standards adoption brought into the organization, within the client, as it is, was a very important factor. Now, let me now announce the first winner in the Award of Distinction category. This is the National Informatics Center, Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India. They have been given the Award of Distinction in Digital Innovation for youth standard. They are known gets this award for creating a successful and well-thought solution covering the entire life cycle of enterprise architecture from inception to outcome. This stems from clear definition of success criteria spanning all areas of architecture, business, performance, data, application, technology, integration, security, and governance. The interesting thing is that NIC has used the India Enterprise Architecture Framework, which is based on the TOGAF standard. So NIC, congratulations on winning the award of distinction.
Thank you. Thank you, the esteemed jury. Thank you, Open Group, for conferring this important award, Open Group Award to National Informatics Center for National Generic Document Registration System. As you know that government is talking under District India program about the whole of the government. We cannot have siloless government, and we have to have a closely knitted digital platform serving the citizen of the country. So, as part of India Enterprise Architecture Framework, the generic document registration system has been developed, and it is implemented in 15 states in 1100 offices, and as of date, more than 3.5 million registrations have been done using this software. It's a open source based software, and it's widely used across the country. So thank you very much once again for the award conferred on the Digital Informatics Center.
Thank you, NIC. Let's go on to the second winner of the award of distinction. So this goes to Bangladesh Computer Council, BCC as it is known. They get this award for developing a service bus for e-service delivery, which of course is very important from a citizen service delivery perspective. With various awareness workshops and more than 25 services that have been integrated with the service bus, they are well in line to deliver digital services across the entire Bangladesh landscape. Now, Bangladesh has a little bit of a background because they've also participated in our previous awards, and this is an example of an organization and a country that has sustained their enterprise architecture process, which is based on the TOGAF standard, by adopting open source application and also becoming, in the whole process, saving cost. With the development of the service development bus, BCC has set an example which can be repeated for more such service buses to cater to multiple services. And the intent of the country and the intent of the organization is to actually roll it out to the whole country. So congratulations, BCC, on winning the award of distinction.
Thank you to all the juries and the member of the Open Group who have selected us for this award. And you know that we have the Vision 2021 to make digital Bangladesh, and that was to achieve middle income country status, and we have successfully done it. And we have used open source TOGAF architecture to deliver the e-services. And we have also started the process to adapt TOGAF as the national standards. And we will be working with the open group for necessary collaboration, and we look forward for the gold membership in the open group. We will be applying very shortly. We are in the process of processing through the government approval. And I'm sure that the open standard will play an important role in our development process. I look forward for continued cooperation with the open group to help achieve our goals. I once again thank all involved in various capacity for recognizing Bangladesh achievement through this award. I also thank the BNDA team for their efforts, for their innovations. And you will be glad to know that the whole COVID vaccination program was utilized this e-service bus based on the TOGAF standards. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, BCC. Thank you, Tariq. It's always a pleasure to interact with all of the folks there who have joined from Dhaka. The third winner in the award of distinction category is in a different standard. It is the IT4IT reference architecture. This is Unilever. The UniOps team, which has implemented this project, is awarded this for their resourcefulness in using the IT4IT reference architecture for their technology transformation initiatives. The team has used the IT4IT as their starting point and tailored it to fit the Unilever IT tooling environment, which is exactly the way we want it. Even though these are standards, we do expect adopters to tailor it and configure it to suit their requirements. And that's exactly what Unilever has done. Their ability to take the information gathered from the assessment and significantly reduce the number of tools in their environment is a great example of how the IT4IT reference architecture can be used for tool rationalization. Congratulations to the Unilever team.
Uh, Thanks, Pallab Saga. And also, I just want to thank Steve for such an extraordinary work in the Open Group. Brilliant. We love it. One of the reasons we applied for this is just that so impressive how Open Group is doing things in the industry. This is Meenakshi, Director, Unilever Global IT Operational Excellence and Controls. In this capacity, I also run the enterprise IT tooling globally. With me, I have the enterprise architecture leader, Luke, who has joined from UK, and equally Lisa, who is partnering with us so collaboratively, making it successful. I'm also joined by my colleagues, who is my team members who are sitting next to me, who is Saumya, who has done the entire creation of this capability. Subhajit, my left, who has run the program so effectively, brilliantly, and make it where we are today. And towards my right, Shubha, who has led the program overall and make it a success story, and Ajit, who is absolutely a brilliant candidate here. And also I want to call out people who are not here, who is Rahul, who has been, the creator of the whole agile and DevOps tooling strategy to landing, and Anurag, who has been supporting us very effectively from the consumer industry as well. So with that, I just want to thank Open Group for working so patiently with us and getting all that through in the process. We have been so new to this. I think it's a brilliant job, and I just want to really congratulate Open Group for supporting us effectively. And more importantly, so proud to be here to receive this award on behalf of Unilever, especially on the distinction in digital innovation, which is absolutely meaning a lot to us, very frankly. Why I say that? Because Unilever business is all underpinned by technology, and technology drives Unilever growth. And it is one of the critical enabler for our fuel for growth. And more importantly, we are looking not IT tooling as a tooling backend. It's a key enabler to simplify, bring agility, and more importantly, the experience which everybody wants to have, so what is it called? One touch, right? So to that extent, we are extremely happy to receive this external recognition, which also proves us that we are doing the right thing rather than doing it right. Yeah. So very well done to my team, and equally, thanks once again for all your support. This is going to take us obviously to the next level of our benchmarking and dialing up within Unilever. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, teams. Your feat is indeed commendable and celebrated by all of us here at the Open Group as
Well
well.
done.
We will resume the felicitation ceremony in a bit, but in the meantime, let me now invite Sonia Gonzalez, who is the Digital Portfolio Manager at the Open Group. Sonia has more than 25 years of experience as business and enterprise architecture consultant in different fields and industry verticals. Her experiences include business and strategy consultancy, as well as enterprise architecture and solutions consultancy, applying different frameworks, best practices, and tools. Please welcome Sonia Gonzalez.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so first, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today virtually, and congratulations to all the winners and also to all the participants, because all the cases that we studied in this award were really very good and an excellent example of the application of the open group standards and also open source to solve specific problems and to deliver business value. I have a presentation today. I don't know if I'm going to present it. Okay, here it is. And it's how the Open Group digital portfolio of standards can be applied for governments. And even though in this award is not only for government, I think some of the cases were about that. But the application of the Open Group standards is applies to different sectors, to different industries, and actually the case studies that we have seen in this ceremony are precisely a good example of that. Next one, please. Okay, this is what we are going to do today. First, an overview of the main challenges that we are facing now, which are not new for all of you. And actually, those challenges have been the drivers for delivering this excellent case studies application. And then we are going to discuss a little bit how the Open Group digital portfolio standard can be used together as a unified portfolio to provide guidance on how to become digital and address these new digital challenges. And then a little bit about how are we envision the portfolio for the coming years and for the future and our vision as Open Group. Next one, please. Okay, this is some of the challenges that we are facing right now, and actually some of them have already been present in the different case studies that we have been addressing in this process. The new need, the new normal. Actually, the digital economy was racing even before the COVID situation. However, the pandemic, the lockdowns, and other constraints force organizations to innovate and to transform and to change the way they are doing business. You know, their business model, offering digital products and offering different digital channels to their customers to improve their customer experience, to overcome the crisis, and then to be able to sustain and grow in this new economy. Next one, please. And if we are going specifically to the government, you know, government should be seen like enterprises, like corporations, is the only way that can really succeed becoming digital and becoming effective, delivering value to the citizens. So we have challenges in here. We have political situations going on. We have our citizens demanding more and more digital services and products. We have new digital technologies that are forcing us to be more effective. We need more agility in the way we do government. We need to engage the different elements that are around governments. Governments are usually very complex ecosystem, so they need to be integrated not only for technology, but especially from people that is working, pursuing this new way of working. And the other important element is sustainability. You know, right now the supply chains are compromised all over the world. We have a crisis in the use of resources, so we need to be very effective address this sustainability into the government. Next one, please. So how governments need to transform, and in the next one we are going to see some examples of how that should be done. And next one, please. Okay, it goes beyond technology. I think it's all we are here will agree that digital transformation is not about technology anymore, even though it's an important piece. It's about people. It's about how organizations need to transform the way of working, cultural changes, and delivering new capabilities into the different persons that are around the organization. And in this case, government should be then run as a corporation. So they need to address different silos and center of power need to be addressed in an accurate way. They need to deliver new digital capabilities to become digital. You know, our customers, which are citizens, demand now digital services and digital product. And more important thing, this cannot be done in a vacuum, meaning that it should be an integration of the whole ecosystem that is around governments. And we are not referring only to the different constituent parts of the government, but also organizations and private organizations are also partners for the government, and different citizen services are also partners, and also how the government relates with other governance as well. Next one, please. And of course, the citizens need to be in the center of all of this. They need to provide these new business products and services. Now the concept of digital product is going over more and more. And right now, it's fair to say that most of the services are providing either using completely digital forms or at least provided using digital channels. Next one, please. Okay, important to discuss to explain what it is digital transformation. And even though it may seem like pretty straightforward, it's not the case. You know, there are different definitions of digital transformation. There are people that consider that it's mostly an IT aspect. We need to transform our IT platforms and to integrate, which is of course important. But our real digital transformation goes beyond that. And it is around the human experience while using this new way of working, while providing this new and innovative digital offering to our citizens. And you will see in this diagram that is in here, that is, by the way, taken from an Open Group white paper, the 7 levels of digital transformation, that elements like business models, IT infrastructure, ecosystem, business transformation, strategy, and cultural change are key pieces into all this puzzle that we need to put together to really become digital. Next one, please. Okay, so we can talk about digital building blocks, and those digital building blocks that you will see in here start with a strategy. It needs to be a digital strategy, a digital roadmap, a digital plan. Then it comes all the way to the business and operational model. Is the way we are offering services and we are operating our platforms. Of course, it is connected with digital platforms and digital technologies, providing agility. We need to be agile, and not only in terms of technology of software development, but in general, the way we run organizations. Security is a very important element. Elements like zero trust, for example, which has been one of the ongoing topics in the Washington Open Group event. Trust, risk management, there are quite important topics. And one key element in here is now the customers in the center. So providing a good customer experience to our customers is key. Having an outside in view, getting to know first what is happening around our company for respond, and of course, like I was mentioned before, to address this cultural change. Next one, please. Okay, how these building blocks should be organized, and in the next slide, we're going to see that. Next one, please. Could you see the next slide? Okay, thank you. And if we can start clicking, because there has animation in this one. Okay, the first one is to understand our current capabilities. If we don't understand what we have, it would be very difficult for us to change that. And then to increase and to improve those capabilities to become digital. And we are referring to capabilities not only technical or even processes, but also the full operational model, our financial model. The people's capabilities need to be addressed now and changed to offer this new way of working, because we may have the best platform with the best integration, but if the people serving and offering those services is not prepared for this, acquiring these new skills and capabilities, then we are not really succeeding. The other one is to have a way to identify the critical services that we need to offer to our customers, to our citizens, in terms of data, infrastructure, applications, and how we're going to interconnect them. I think interoperability and interconnection are two important elements in here. The other important element is to have a sponsorship at the higher level. So in this case, the higher levels of the governments are the ones that should be involved and supporting this process. Integration and communication all over the different elements that confront the governance ecosystem is key. And to innovate, as I was saying at the beginning, we need to see organizations now as corporations. And we have a corporation, you need to be effective, you need to provide value to your customers. So in this case, governance should be seen like that, providing in this case value to the citizens. And also very important also to being aware of the technical debt. This is something that sometimes we forget whenever we are embarking in a transformation process. But technical debt is all the things that are hidden in our technological platform, are bugs that have been there for quite some time. If we don't take care of them, then they will give us issues and provide failures in the future. Next one. And of course, this transformation should start over incrementally to be able to scale and to be sustainable in time. So it's not a one-time effort. It's something that should be continuous and going on. Next one. Citizens in the center, like I just said. Next one, next effect. And also the need to provide this government business model, secure, reliable, and sustainable, to be able to be continue and rolling out in time. Next one. Okay, what we need for this, we are coming now where it is a digital portfolio. We need a framework, a methodology. In the cases that we have seen in this process, we have seen how the TOGAF standard, along with other frameworks, have been used to provide this digital value. The IT for IT standard and others have also been used along with other practices. We need reference models, and we need overall all these practices to be consistent and integrated. Next one. And this is a view, a landscape of the Open Group Digital Portfolio Standard. Very important to explain that this is just the first deliverable In the future, we're going to create more elements in here. For example, security. Right now, the first deliverable for this portfolio is the TOGAF standard, the digital practitioner body of knowledge, the open agile architecture standard, the IT for IT, and the Archimedes standard, along with a set of digital principles and digital uh, roles that we have identified for this. And there are three keywords in here. Cross-link, meaning that the idea is to offer a new way to consume our standard in a way that they can be cross-linked and cross-references. We have heard over time that the TOGAF standard is powerful, the IT for IT is powerful, but they are separated in the library, in the Open Group library, so it's very difficult for them to be used together. So this portfolio is going to address that. And of course, it needs to be consistent and findable and usable. And next one. Okay, like was I saying, it's a collection of standards and best practices, sustainable, suitable to be updated. That's why we need our members' engagement on this. And above all, even though each one of them is meant to be addressing a specific area of subject matter expertise, they are meant to be used together and to complement each other. Next one. Okay, this is an example. For example, the TOGAF standard, which is one of the frameworks more used in the industry, and actually several of the cases that we have seen in this process are being used in EA with TOGAF. You need the TOGAF standard to identify your digital strategy, to identify the changes in the business model, to know which one are the platforms that you need to transform, how to rely them with security, how to make this migration and incremental adoption of the different standards, how to integrate them and interoperate in a way that is effective and providing agility all over the process. And of course, security is another important element in here, security architecture. Next one. Okay, this is another example. As you know, the TOGAF standard has different reference model. This is taken from the INEA framework, which is holding different reference models for the government. And also you will see how all these different reference models are building blocks. They can be reused to address the different needs. It would be very time consuming to go in detail over this, but the key message is that you need to reuse whatever it is in this collection of standards and others that are in the market and combine them together. Next one. Okay, this is another example of how this is meant to be used together. We have on the right side a view of the digital practitioner body of knowledge, which is the central piece for the digital portfolio that present a progression model. Is composed by different competency areas that are in a scale model. They start all the way from the founder all the way to the enduring enterprise. And all the way you will see how these different practices are meant to be used to address digital. And the DP book is very general. So what we need to do is to provide guidance in all these different topics. And for that, we have a standard like the TOGAF standard, IT for IT, and others. And in this case, this is a very good example of how using the DP book and the TOGAF standard, you can deliver this incrementally. Next one. Okay, agility, another key element. This is taken from the Open Agile Architecture Standard along with the TOGAF standard. And again, another very good example how you can partition your architectures to provide them with more agility and at the same time combine them with the use of the Open Agile Architecture product model. This one that you are seeing in here, it has different building blocks that facilitate this agile delivery. Next one. And this is another very important point. Like I was mentioning at the beginning, transformation is not only about technology or processes, it's also about organizational structure. So in the Open Agile architecture, you will find a lot of very useful information, how to structure your organization to be more flat, to be more agile. And of course, this applies to government. And also in the DP book, talks about organizational structure. And you can also use the TOGAF standard, especially in phases, in preliminary phase and phase A to redistribute or redesign your organization. And next one. And this is, I think, is one of the last one. I mean, business and operational changes. You know, the IT for IT version 3 has the concept of digital product in the center. Therefore, combined with the Open Agile architecture and the TOGAF standard ADM has a process will allow you to identify the changes needed in your business and operational models. Next one. And technical debt, you know, this is one of the last topics for today. And, you know, we no need to explain what that is, but you will have a guidance on how to identify these things that need to be corrected timely in the DP book, in the talk of standard, and also in other guides that we have in the Open Group Library. Next one. Could we have the next one, please? Okay. And this is about something that has been, we have seen happening in all the different cases that we have seen in this award ceremony, which is the way to integrate, to provide interoperability, and the use of open source, of course. Open source and open standards is what we are promoting in the Open Group to solve solutions to complex problems. And next one. And our vision, and this is, I will leave you with this message, is to position the Open Room as the premier source for open standards supporting digital. This is also something that we have already started, however, is a journey. And for that, we need engagement from our members and engagement from the community. So this is my presentation for today, and thank you very much. And I think I need to present the next speaker, isn't it?
Yes, Sonia. Thank you.
Okay, so the next speaker, I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Subhajit Dutta. He is an enterprise and IT tooling manager within Unilever. In his role, he is responsible for driving technology strategy, architecture, transformation roadmap, including delivering technology solutions consumed across the Unilever enterprise. Subhajit started his career with Wipro Technologies and has more than 20 years of experience in driving high-value transformation programs across the globe. Subhajit holds an engineering degree from JEPI Institute of Information Technology and a PGD VM from the SKKM and MMIS institution. So thank you and welcome now. Over to you, Subhajit, now for your presentation.
Thank you, Sonia, for the introduction, and hello, everyone. Greetings wherever you are, and thank you for joining us today. Before I start off, I wish to thank Open Group for giving us the opportunity to come and share with you all the IT fight transformation journey that we have lived through. Can we have the slides, please? Can you move to the next slide? Okay. I believe everyone here in the audience and everyone listening to this would have some point of time would have either heard of Unilever or would have used a Unilever product as a consumer. So to help you all, we are one of the world's largest consumer packaged or a CPG company, driven by a strong purpose to make sustainable living commonplace. Next slide, please. Unilever as an organization has a very big presence. It's present in nearly every country of the world, touching around lives of 1 in every 3 people across the globe. We have a very strong portfolio of brands, with 13 of our brands having an annual turnover of over €1 billion, all of which is driven by our highly diverse and inclusive workforce of around 148,000 employees globally. Next one, please. And before I move ahead, I just wanted to pause here and give you a glimpse of some of the world's favorite brands that we represent across the globe. Next one, please. Okay, so by now you would have understood that our business is driven by our product portfolio focusing around home care, personal care, beauty and well-being, ice cream, and nutrition. But the organization within Unilever, which ensures that these product portfolios run and remain competitive in the marketplace, is called Unilever Operations, or as we call internally as UniOps. Unilever is a very highly purpose-driven organization, and as such, UniOps' purpose is also to enable a future-fit business. And how do we do it? We serve it in 3 parts. The first part provides the muscle, like the tools and technologies to run the organization. The second is to bring in industry-best processes and systems to power the company's growth. And the third is to provide the fuel to grow
by saving both time and money for the organization. Next slide, please. And this is not the all. This is just to give you a glimpse of the several transformation agendas that are being driven within the UniOps organization in the areas of technology, process simplification, and data-driven decision. The IT for IT transformation journey, which I am going to take you through today, is one such transformation agenda cutting across the areas of technology and process simplification. Can we next slide, please? And before I start moving a bit deeper into the genesis of the journey we went through, I would like to start off with the belief with which this journey started, focusing on making the IT faster, easier to use, being resilient, and all of this happening at a lower cost and risk. And with this belief, I will take you now to a glimpse of the journey we have lived through. Can we have next slide, please? This is the journey which started more than 2 years ago. And the opportunities as we went through this presented to us from the Unilever's IT topology, focusing around how IT for IT tools are covered in our landscape, how we can simplify them, how their landscape management and fulfillment can be done better, and how we can find opportunities on sweating the assets and reducing our costs. Can we next slide, please? To deliver on these opportunities, we took a very step-by-step approach. And how we started off is we first started by inheriting the IT for IT reference architecture and then flexing it to suit our internal structure and taxonomy. The beauty about the IT for IT reference architecture is the flexibility it offers. The name itself suggests the reference it provides to organizations and how well they can inherit it to the way they want to make the transformation around. We as Unilever did the same. We took guidance from reference architecture and flexed it based on how we wanted to, based on the internal structure and how we wanted to operate it. We then went about a very, very systematic approach to digital transformation in which we aligned our technology needs to our strategic technology choices, or as we call internally them as destinations, technology destinations. Not only technology transformation, we also ensured that these technologies, along with the underlying processes, gets housed under the right ownership, helping enable a focused management and delivery of IT for IT. Last but not the least, we also brought in a well-defined operating model along with a governance process to ensure the transformation delivers its value and derives the internal objectives. Can we next one, please? In the last 2.5 years, the IT for IT transformation journey within UniOps has come through a long way. What started from building the foundation around IT for IT reference architecture, the focus around them and everything, and the rationalization principles which we used to solving the low-hanging fruits to driving the core strategic initiatives within Unilever as of today. The outcomes have been multifold, and these outcomes have resulted in centralization of the technologies under defined ownership, all of which is getting well executed under a well-defined operating and supported by a strong governance mechanism. We're constantly pushing our boundaries with the aim to enhance the user journeys for IT processes and delivering an enriched end user experience. Can we next one, please? The IT for IT journey, which we have done within Unilever, has not only delivered its aim of digital transformation, but is also generating tactical shifts in driving our technology simplification. This is fueled by our strategic choices and empowered by a deep acceptance of the IT for IT culture within the organization. The early fruits of success, which we are witnessing today, have propelled us to work on our overall technology strategy and meet our business objectives. Our aim is to become a market leader in driving technology transformation and also helping our business reach its zenith. Next one, please. With this, I come to the end of my presentation, and I would like to thank you all for being such patient listeners. It was an absolute privilege to speak with you all and to share with you all the journey which we have lived through. Thank you.
Thank you, Shubhajit. Thank you, Sonia. From our digital portfolio of standards, we did see a good example of one of those standards, that is the IT for IT reference architecture, being applied in a real world that Shubhajit summarized it for us so nicely. So congratulations again to all the three winners that I have just announced, but we can continue with the remaining two. So the next winner in the award of distinction category that we are still continuing with, so these are the two remaining winners, is Dubai Customs. They have won this award for using mobile and AI technologies to convert a slow and error-prone manual process into a fast, accurate digital process, delivering measurable improvements in cost and customer experience, and showing how their solution integrates with their architecture and strategic priorities. As I mentioned previously, this is an example of the adoption of the TOGAF standard. So guided by the TOGAF standard, they have created a solution which could be scaled and adopted by other customs organization. Now, a lot of us have traveled internationally, and we know going through the customs process can be a painful experience. So Dubai Customs has played a very important role in streamlining this entire experience for all the passengers, and therefore they win this award of distinction. So congratulations, Dubai Customs.
Thank you, Dr. Saha. We are really delighted to accept the award of distinction in digital innovation in the category of TOGAF Standard Enterprise Architecture on our innovative initiative, Al-Munassaq Smart Application for Goods Classification. Al-Munassaq is the first smart interactive global application that provides instant goods classification by image recognition or by providing description of the items using AI technology. Al-Munassaq offers users the opportunity to instantly identify the correct classification of their goods efficiently by adopting cutting-edge technologies and utilizing natural language processing using machine learning algorithms and image recognition capabilities to make quick and accurate predictions. This helps users to efficiently classify their goods in a convenient manner and to remove the burdens and errors of manual classification of their items to streamline their declaration process. With Al-Munassaq, we were able to reduce operational cost by 99%, increase customer happiness index to reach to up to 97%, operational time reduction by 99%, digitize customs formalities to reach 100% paperless, among other significant results. The foundation of digital transformation, enterprise architecture, and innovation that we have established at Dubai Customs with a strong leadership support have played a big role in our efforts to explore innovation opportunities along with digital solutions and opened up possibilities to create value and prosperity for our society. Our digital and innovation culture has enabled us to engage and collaborate with our valued customers, partners, and society to come up with transformative innovations. Thank you for acknowledging Dubai Customs' efforts to support our vision, being the leading customs administration in the world, supporting legitimate trade. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Umar. The next winner in the award of distinction category is Taipei City Government from Taiwan. They have applied the TOGAF standard to create a smart city framework for the Taipei city. The interesting thing is they have innovatively combined TOGAF, which probably all of you know is an industry agnostic framework with the Federal Enterprise Architecture Framework, which was standardized by the US government, which is very specific to the government domain, and created a TOGAF Government Enterprise Architecture Framework, GEAF. Taipei City Government has participated in our previous edition of the awards, of the India Awards, and previously they have won an award for piloting this process in one part of the city. But interestingly, in the ensuing years, roughly 3 years or so, they have rolled this out to the entire city. So if you have traveled to Taipei City, right from the time you land in the airport, you can feel that it is one of the smartest cities in the world. So congratulations, Taipei City, on winning this award of distinction, coming back and doing well. So this is very important for us. That's why I said sustaining and institutionalization is so important. Congratulations again.
Can you please unmute yourself, Dr. Simon Liu?
Sorry, how about my voice is okay?
Yes, it's okay now.
Thank you. Good evening. It's my pleasure and to accept this award on behalf of the Taipei City government. First, please allow me to show my appreciations and to the Open Group for this and recognitions and encourages. I also like to thank all of you for your support and our Taipei's enterprise architecture initiatives. Taipei has a Salesforce blueprint emphasizes IT governance through the promotion of enterprise architecture in order to realize the transition roadmap toward a smart city. By implementing the EA framework, we hope to assist our city agencies in the strategy alignment and the process redesign and the IT system involvement for the improvement of digital service and realize the IT governance. Over the years, and the city government has achieved a significant result and through this approach. Finally, I would like to thank and express my gratitude to my teammates and at the City Hall. And we will never make it so far and without their efforts and support. So I would like to show my appreciation to my teammates. And thank you, and hope the world and staying safe and health. And my colleague and Dr. Han and will give you a briefing about our projects. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the great work that you have done to make this world really a better place. Congratulations to all the teams once again, and we'll resume the award felicitation shortly. In the meantime, I'm happy to be joined by Dr. Mickey Han, who is the EA Director of Taipei Digital Innovation Office, Department of Information Technology, Taipei City Government. He has a PhD degree in computer science from Naval Postgraduate School, USA. Worked in Graduate School of National Defense Information at the National Defense Management College, Republic of China. In addition, he has authored Enterprise Architecture Guidance Blue Ocean Layout and Practice Strategy. He helps agencies plan and realize their IT projects of Taipei Smart City by using a viable EA method. He has been engaged in the study of information technology and management for 35 years, since 1986. Currently, he is the honor chairman of Association of Chinese Enterprise Architects and the deputy chairman of Association of Enterprise Architects Taiwan chapter. So nice to have you here with us, Dr. Mickey. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Karuna.
Hi, I'm Simon Liu, the CIO Hi, I'm Simon Ru, the CIO of the Taipei City Government. As we have learned, digital transformation is one of the initiatives around the world. The EMS will be the pivot to drive Taipei toward a smart city. Service delivery of the public sector has evolved over the time. From the old model of the government dispensing service with the traditional models to an emphasis on the e-government or e-services. And ultimately, today's integrated approach, which enhances the value of the service to the citizen. What we have to deal with is that systems have been developed one after another over different periods. The large number of different systems overlap and cascaded to each other, eventually resulting in the chaotic system structure, which is caused by the difference among the data formats and the tech specs. How can we implement digital transformation in an orderly manner? EMS allows the transformation to mimic the process of urban planning, which helps us build a system based on the blueprint. It can also ground a model that allows the top-down planning and the bottom-up implementations. Therefore, the EA becomes an important pivot for the aligning IT projects with the strategy. This forms the core value of the EMS. By using the TOGAF as a reference, we've devised a Taipei GEA framework, which integrates the elements such as the strategy, business, application, data, technology, and the security architectures under a top-down alignment. In addition, based on this framework, when separate projects are established, they can also be integrated with the citywide master plan. On the top level, we've adopted a measure of the strategy map, ensuring that strategy architecture is more comprehensive, which can also be achieved by using the IT governance. In terms of the best practices, we've also drawn the reference from the FEA framework and introduced a performance improvement life cycle with the architectural investor implement. The new review systems focus on the IT plans have to provide the required data, including budget, agency's EA, IT portfolio, and the business cases, which covers budget and the system dimensions. The planning and the evaluation process of the city budget will also be adjusted accordingly. Through the EA framework, we can provide an orderly evolutions for the Taipei digital transformation.
Good evening, I am Mickey Han. Do we have a slide? Okay. Tonight, I'm very delighted to be here to talk about our project. Our topic is best EA practices for the smart city via the Taipei GF. This one. This one, please. Yes, I just want to demo and present what we do. I don't have time to share the processes and the challenges we conquered. I would like to show the Taipei GF and its mini set, part of our results produced by them, and talk about many crucial lessons learned. Next one. Let me introduce Taipei GF to you. Next one. The purpose of this project is to realize abundant IT projects about Taipei Smart City via EA methodologies, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. We focus on the smart city architecture, digital transformation, and digital services areas. Next one. It's hard to imagine that EA can help Taipei city government to face the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic. We must change some plans from the original one to the new one because courses of actions and resources allocation were adjusted. Next one. Our EA project is not brand new. Current project continues the previous project that focuses on the questionnaire survey and the field interviews during 2018 to 2019. Current project focuses on the implementation, and we obtain numerous feedbacks and results from this EA project. Next one. We construct the Taipei GEF around TOGAF ADM, including motivation, business, application, and technology architecture. Next one. In this section, I would like to explain what is the Taipei GEF mini set. Next one, please. Taipei GEF is based on the TOGAF standard, like ADM and Archimate, and refers on FEAF, such as common method. Next one. Taipei GEF mini set is a kind of a lightweight framework because Taipei GEF is not as large as the FEA. Dr. Simon Liu adopted the concept coming from the MVEA, which means Minimum Viable Enterprise Architecture, proposed by the Jeremy Saller in 2019, I think. Next one. Taipei GEF mini set includes 6 categories of view diagrams and 3 categories of matrix tables. We pick the views specified in the UML, BPMN, ER model, TOGAF modeling, RACI, and so on to build the 9-square grid. Next one. The representation of artifacts, we can separate it into 2 parts, formal dry and informal weight. Do you know formalization is another issue of EA because it has a spectrum length from wet to dry. It means some are wet and some are dry. Next one. Formal dry representations can be realized by the components of the Taipei GEF mini set, and the informal weight representations can be conducted by text, tables, and so on. Next one. Let me explain some results to you. Next one, please. We demonstrate current results from our citizens in the Taipei Smart City Summit and Expo and the IT Month Expo to show our EA performance. Next one. We attended many international activities to get awards and recognition. The most important thing is to prove our EA methodology is available and to get applause from the outside world. Next one, please. White paper describes a blueprint of Taipei Smart City by several action plans according to the policies made by our mayor, Dr. Wen-Zhe Ke. We adopted the informal way, such as STEP, SWOT, strategic map, system dynamics, to confirm our goal with some principles. Next one. The action plans align with the courses of actions. There are 5 important domains about the industry transformation in the white paper. Next one. Products in our hands, such as Draw.io, Archi, and Asana, are open source tools and can produce view diagrams, matrix tables, Kanban, and so forth. Others are either created by us or bought from outside. Next one. All of our artifacts is around the Taipei GF and the Taipei GF mini set. What we have to got is that at the beginning, we define the EA frameworks and then let them trigger some EA activities and produce related artifacts. Next one. Now I would like to talk about some experiences. We use Kanban to manage our EA project via Archie. The blue one is a project about information system inventorying, and the yellow one is a project about business projects organizing. They are scheduled and conducted in different milestones. To do, in process, VMV, done, and delivered. Next one. We use a free tool, Draw.io, to draw view diagrams and matrix tables. This is an example for Taipei ARM project. Next one. This is the website of Taipei GF Web. It is necessary to design a web to promote Taipei GF. Next one. We designed the architectural elicitation questionnaire to lead the artifacts, no, to lead the architects to draw the view diagrams. We specify Q&A format to lead the users to think what they should do in a view diagram or matrix table. Next one. Yeah, we also design a EA view review system to examine the EA project. This is an example for review process described by use case diagram and the top level of BPMN. That's one. We provide a platform to review the EA artifacts. This is an example for reviewing EA artifacts in the Regica EA review system, which is created by our EA group. Next one. We record EA training videos and put them into YouTube for our colleagues. Next one. We provide an excellent learning environment for our colleagues to learn EA. This year, we have 8 two-day physical classes. Each class has about 20 students. Next one. This is an amazing picture, right? Like a peacock. In the Archie visualizer for component traceability. The bottom component is Taipei ARM Web, which link over 100 components and databases. If we want to trace one component, we can get another one. This one. This view is here when we traced. We trace this component for security needs. This is a view diagram by using an ontology semantic network via Archimate that was invented by me a long time ago, maybe in 2015. Finally, I would like to thank Dr. Simon Liu. He created the Taipei GF to help us finish this fantastic mission. And I would like to thank Jerry and our new friends in the Open Group India too. This is all my presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mickey. Thank you, Simon, for that fascinating journey of taking, Taipei and making it into a smarter city. Cities are, agglomerations of economic activity. So I'm sure the example set by Taipei city would be something other cities would like to emulate from. So we have completed all the five winners of the award of distinction category. Now we move on to the next category, which is the award of merit. And here we have three winners who have been given the award of merit. The first one I'd like to announce is Meralco from Philippines, who has used the TOGAF standard. So this award is to recognize their success in using digital technologies to improve customer satisfaction, resulting into more online customers and a vision of improving other stakeholder journey through digital transformation. Using the TOGAF standard, Meralco has done an excellent work in identifying, defining, and addressing the business priority that emerged out of the pandemic, that the whole world is still grappling with, but hopefully things will be better next year on. The nature of the crisis meant that timely delivery and fulfillment of complex requirements were paramount. We all understand the urgency that the pandemic brought about on us. The team rose to the occasion and responded commendably. Congratulations, Meralco.
A heartfelt thank you to the Open Group Committee for this opportunity and honor. We're truly humbled and grateful for this award. We would have wanted to meet everyone in person, but celebrating virtually will have to do for now. Indeed, the pandemic has been a challenging chapter for all of us, and it continues to bring different forms of challenges in our country today. Like many organizations globally, Meralco experienced huge challenges at the onset of COVID-19 pandemic. As a major electricity distributor in the Philippines, it had to provide a continuously high level of service to millions of Filipinos, all within the constraints of the community quarantine guidelines set by the national government. And we in ICT and the rest of the Meralco groups had to act decisive and with agility. With customer centricity as our anchor, digital transformation as our enabler, and our passion to serve above self as one of TOGAF's guiding principles, Meralco not only survived but continues to reap the fruits of our efforts through the Customer Centricity Transformation Program, or CCTP. We hope that the Enterprise Architecture and Innovations mission will continue to be just as relevant as it is today, and that is to serve as an internal management consultancy to rapidly deliver business outcomes in support of Meralco's pursuit to be a world-class energy solutions provider. And I hope we never lose sight of the distinction of this mission and the means of realizing it. Technology enabled us to provide better customer experience, but it was the collective efforts of Meralco employees who, with a great spirit of public service, or in our own language, malasakit, these made all the milestones and breakthrough possible, all for our customers. With our successes with Meralco, we've transcended our mission and have extended our reach to Meralco subsidiaries, and we share the success of two of our subsidiaries, Regis Telecom's expansion to the B2C business through Red Fiber, and Bayad's seamless on-site to online customer experience, serving more Filipinos around the world and driving financial inclusion through its Bayad online platform and app. But now at the forefront of what will only be promising futures for the respective industries. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Meralco's President and CEO, Attorney Ray Espinosa, for his decisive leadership and strong support to our customer centricity and digital transformation initiatives. To the Head of Information, Communication Technology and Transformation, Rocky Bacani, for his trust, support, and leadership, alongside our ICT Leadership Committee, our ICT colleagues, our customer retail services partners, ICT procurement partners, and to the whole of Meralco, Radius, and Bayad. Lastly, my profound appreciation to my teammates for achieving what we've done in EAI possible. Teamwork indeed makes the dream work. This award is a humble testament and our perennial source of inspiration that Meralco is one and continues to stay committed in keeping the lights on and powering our brighter tomorrow. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Mark. That was a wonderful piece of work undertaken by Meralco. The next winner in the Award of Merit category I'd like to announce is the Center for Railway Information Systems, Ministry of Railway, Government of India. So they get the Award of Merit in Digital Innovation for using the TOGAF standard. Now, Center for Railway Information Systems, CRIS as they are known in short, is part of the Indian Railways, and some of you may know that Indian Railways on many parameters is the world's largest railway. It is definitely the world's largest railway under single management, and just to give you the passenger numbers, it carries on Australia every year in terms of the passenger numbers. So what CRIS has done is demonstrated the value of using open digital ecosystems for advancing innovations through their API management gateway. Earlier we heard Rohini, earlier we heard Kalyan and also Sonia talk about the value of API based integration mechanism. So the Indian Railways and CRIS have come together to create this API gateway to create integration and interoperability, which are the greatest challenges towards taking a whole of government and a whole of enterprise perspective. And not to speak the size of an enterprise like Indian Railways, these are extremely large and complex projects, but doing this successfully brings immense benefits when adopted throughout the entire railway sector. The interesting thing is not only, even though they get the award for the TOGAF standard, they have also used the Archimate notation because it is very important not only to have a framework, but also to have a notation to support that. You saw the same approach in the Taipei city government example as well. Congratulations to the Center for Railway Information Systems.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. Namaskar. We, myself, Priya Shrivastava, and my colleague, Shri Shamendu Ghosh, we are really honored to be here to receive this award on behalf of CRIS, Center for Railway Information Systems. We are thankful to the Open Group and the esteemed jury for giving us this opportunity and selecting our work for this prestigious award. Getting an award under enterprise architecture category from the Open Group is a real honor for us, because TOGAF framework is the Bible for us for the development of enterprise architecture for Indian Railways, which we are doing, and we have named it as Vistar. That's why we have mentioned it in our background also. Vistar is Visionary Integrated Sustainable Enterprise Architecture for Railways. So one of the main goal of Indian Railways as of now is to enhance the ease of doing business. Interchanging information seamlessly with partners in the logistics and travel ecosystem is a very, very important part of our enterprise architecture. And API Gateway has been implemented as a solution building block, we can say, to realize this goal using open API specifications. And on date, any information exchange with any external partner in a secure and controlled manner can be deployed very quickly, and it is possible through API Gateway. And this is also a powerful enabler for Indian Railways with respect to the current directives of at national level for multimodal transportation, Gati Shakti schemes, and of course for whole of government objective. So that's where API Gateway stands. So with this, I would take this opportunity to thank my management, our MD, Shri DK Singh, and Group General Manager, Shri SS Mathur, for putting their trust in us and continuous support. Some names, I definitely would take this opportunity to take those names of my teammates who contributed a lot and without whom this would not have been possible. Anisha, Ajit Singh, Shrikant, Mukesh, Jenny, Ashwini, Pushpendra, Romika, and Aishwarya, because they are not here with us, so I have to just thank them from here also. And thank you once again for motivating our team and giving us more reasons to deliver an enterprise architecture based on TOGAF standards, which we are developing, and very soon we will come up with Vistar for Indian Railways. Thank you, Dr. Saab. Over to you.
Thank you, Priya. We look forward to Vistar being nominated for the next year's award, which is the India Awards.
Sure, sir. We'll try for that.
Absolutely. So thank you again and congratulations to both Meralco and CRIS. The third winner that I'd like to announce in the Award of Merit category is Schlumberger India. So the Schlumberger Unstructured Data Services demonstrates the potential to build innovative digital capabilities on top of the industry open source platforms like OSDU, which some of you would know is one of the standards data platform that we have created out of the OSDU forum. Expanding access to unstructured data enables consumers of the solution to unlock more value from their data. It is very cliched, but data is the new oil, and talking about it in the context of Schlumberger makes a lot of sense. The team also demonstrated commitment to innovating in a community by contributing expanded capabilities to the community, which is the Data Standards Community Platform, and enabling their own innovations and beyond. Congratulations, Schlumberger.
Thanks God for the opportunity to be here with you guys. And on behalf of Schlumberger, we are very proud to receive this recognition. From the very beginning, from the conception of our company, innovation has been inside of our day-to-day operations, but also our commitment to a very regulated industry, the commitment to governance and to follow standards. In that regard, not only we have been following standards, but we have also created, along with our peers, a lot of standards for our industry. And with the opportunity of the Open Group conception, we have also been part of the, as was mentioned, the OSDU community. On that, we have been committed to the contributions of our innovation as an open source for the better of the world, for the better of our energy industry. Wanted to thank you to our leadership in the digital and integration in Schlumberger. But I am very proud, and I've been very honored to work with our team in India on the technology center in Pune. So thank you, all of you guys, because without you, we couldn't pull the rabbit out of the hat. Thank you very much.
Congratulations and wishing many more laurels to all the project teams. The Open Group has constantly strived to encourage entities who have reached the pinnacle in adoption of open standards. And as we come towards the end of the program today, I would like to bring back Dr. Pallab Saha, the General Manager of Open Group India, to kindly share the closing remarks.
Thank you, Deepti. We have almost come to the end of this event, the award ceremony event. But before, and we've announced all the 8 winners, congratulations to all the 5 in the Award of Distinction category and the 3 in the Award of Merit category. Now, some jury members are on the call today, and I can tell you it was not easy for them to even identify the award winners because it was such a strong competition between the different nominations. Now, in discussion with our jury members, we do feel that we should mention 2 projects which deserve special mention for having undertaken good quality work, but we believe that it should be taken forward and sustained and institutionalized. So the 2 projects that get special mention today are Synax Solutions from Philippines. Well done, folks. And the Planning Department, State Government of Meghalaya, who developed a statewide enterprise architecture based on the NDA framework. Again, congratulations to the Government of Meghalaya for doing a great job. So we have covered 8 winners. We have had 2 special mentions. The next question that comes into play is that what do we do with all of this great work that we have received? So we at Open Group, what we intend to do is create a case compendium, because these are all applications of our standards in real life situations. So our intention over the next 2 to 3 months is to create a collection of case studies which are created from the nominations that we have received. So we will put together a team to work with the team from the Open Group side, to work with the teams, the winners and the non-winners, equally good quality work, to create a compendium, and this will be published by the Open Group Library. So this will give us something which adds to the body of knowledge, because it is important not only to create the standards, but also ensure that these standards are being adopted, which is consistent with our vision of making standards work. We have to make the standards work, and that's what the case compendium intends to document. So we will share the case compendium with you once it is ready. We hope to have it ready before the end of this year. After that, I would also like to thank our sponsors, Mega, who have been very consistently supporting us. Mega is, as you know, is one of the tools supporting enterprise architecture, and we continue to work with them very closely in many events and forums. So thank you again, Mega, for sponsoring this event. And last but not the least, before we go on to the final remarks by Deepti, is that this is a very clear early heads up that we will continue the awards process into 2023. We hope to, rather I would say that we hope to make the first call for nominations for the 2023 awards in sometime in the month of November or December of this year, because by then our case compendium will also be ready. And we hope greater participation. In fact, we expect some of the merit award winners to come back to win the distinction award next year, as I was mentioning this to Preeti. With that, I will end my session. I think it was great interacting with all of you. Congratulations again to all the winners. We will be continuing to remain in touch with you. Deepti, all yours now.
Thank you all for being a great audience today. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Open Group, I take this opportunity to thank everyone for joining this live awards event, and despite it being very late in some parts of the world. So I express profound gratitude to all those who contributed their valuable time and effort in making this journey of months a grand success. Thank you to the jury members. Thank you to all the project teams who have put in painstaking time and effort in applying for this year's awards. And congratulations for paving the way in the adoption of open standards and open source as part of your organization's digital transformation journey. Thanks to the Open Group team who have worked hard for weeks to ensure that this event is a success. And also thanking once again our sponsor organization, Mega. As Dr. Saha mentioned, we will continue our journey of rewarding and celebrating organizations in the use of open standards and open source, and look forward to meeting you all again next year, 2023 awards. Until then, this is Deepti Nair signing off. Namaste. Good luck in Godspeed. Thank you for joining.